Hello, I'm Jerry Ford, the beer review guy. I know a lot of my longtime classic subscribers are going to remember this glass. Do you remember what this glass is? Does it look familiar? It's a vase, remember? And I was mentioned in the review that I could put my whole face in this thing. So um, I'll give you a little time to think about it. All right, so Lindsay Molina wanted to see a 40-ounce hurricane. I've only found a 40-ounce hurricane once, and then I can't find them anymore. I see a lot of the Mexican beers, the 40 ounces, the Modelo, the Corona, Steel Reserve, I think. Not a Mexican beer, but it's a malt liquor. I think I still see 40 ounces of those, but I don't see the hurricane. So I don't know. I look for it when I go places, but I just never see it. So I thought, what about a 50-ounce hurricane? I got two 25 ounces of the hurricane, 8.1% ABV. It's Thursday. I don't have to go to work tomorrow because it's a holiday. So let's just do this. I'm gonna use my OG glass that I used many years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, probably something like that. I'll let you think about it a little bit more. Hurricane High Gravity, Category 5 is the world's most powerful hurricane. Hurricane High Gravity brings you an equally bold experience. Ooh, wow. Had it in the freezer. I had this in the freezer too, but all the frost is gone on it now. Ooh. That is some dark orangish beer right there. Wow. So yeah, today on my way home, man, people are driving crazy. I've never seen so many people bobbing and weaving in and out of traffic, not signaling, just like they were some kind of race cars or something. Bunches of rude peoples. I guess it's because it's going into a holiday. That's a lot of beer, isn't it? I may not be able to make this a 50-ounce hurricane. I thought it was bigger than that. Even the head oh, wait a minute. I was getting ready to say, even the head has an orangish kind of reddish tint to it. It's because my red umbrella is up above there. So yeah, otherwise it's just kind of a khaki white a little bit. I was gonna, today is my payday, because tomorrow's a holiday. Usually my payday is tomorrow, but because it's a holiday, they pay you the day before. And I went by Peyton's Corner to see if they had something in there that I wanted, but their prices are high, and they just didn't have anything that wowed me. They had some interesting stuff in there, but a lot of the stuff they have is, like the buzz balls and the bootlegger and the Four Loco pre-games and stuff like that. But some of those things are interesting. But there's other stuff I'm looking for, and just not finding much. I need to go back out to, I guess, a liquor warehouse. They have a pretty good selection there, but it's just, I hear of other, new beers coming out. I still haven't seen the Busch Light Lime. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? Busch Light Lime? Haven't seen it. So I was a little disappointed. I went to QT today. All the QTs, Quick Trips. I had to get some gas. Gas here is from 274 to 276. It ranges about there, and the 274, they changed it to 275. But so I pulled in to get the 275 price. All the pumps were full. Excuse me again. And there was lines of cars waiting to. I'm not gonna do that. Excuse me again. I wasn't in the mood after my day to sit in a line to wait to get gas. I have 3 to 4 other QTs I can get on my way home. So I just go on. I see my next QT. I pull in. All of the pumps are full on there too. So I leave that one. And that's when I went to Peyton's Corner convenience store and didn't find anything that jumped out at me. So I decided just to go to my Quick Trip, which is usually the highest QT that they have. Pulled in there, and my side of town in West Tulsa it's got to be the worst part of town for vagabonds, bums, and zombies-looking people and stuff. They were wandering everywhere, like someone let them out of their cages, and they were just wandering everywhere out there. And I see them at 4:45 in the morning. I'm driving with my window down and my arm out there because it's nice out. I stop at a stoplight, and there's two getting ready to walk across the street. I roll my window. I can't trust that they're not gonna try to pull me out of my truck and beat me to death. They get desperate sometimes. But I haven't heard of any cases recently, but you would figure that I'd be the first case, in a while. There's a little girl. I see her out there all the time in the media, medium. Where the lane is to turn at stoplights. Yeah, she's just walking real fast. Has this sign, walking right down the medium, back and forth. I don't know what the sign says, but man, she's just full of energy, and I'm like, what is she doing? Can't she get a job? I mean, she's young and healthy and full of energy. She doesn't look like there's anything wrong with her. So why is she peddling for money? It's like, it baffles me. It really does. That's unsafe, area out there. She's small and fragile, and other bums would take advantage of her and take any money that she makes or whatever, or worse. I don't understand it. There's a lot of those guys that are out there that are pretty healthy and they could work. I would not want that life. And I don't know where they go, and it gets really hot and dangerously hot, and it gets really cold. Well, some they go to those John 3:16 shelters, and there's other places that you can go to, but I just wouldn't want that lifestyle. That I would have to be probably in a wheelchair before I would submit to doing that kind of to try to make money. All right, Lindsay. A 50-ounce hurricane. All right, so I'll let you guys in on what I was talking about. Some of you already know what I'm talking about. So I did a review of a beer, a malt liquor. It was probably 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. And I'd already heard about this beer, and I heard how bad it was, and I watched Jay Terrio's review back then of it, and and he was saying some funny stuff about it. I think I know it was him that said he'd like to burn it at the stake. So what this beer was is called Axe Head Malt Liquor, and so I thought I'm going to do something kind of funny, and from everybody not liking it, I assumed that I'm probably not going to like it either, which I didn't. So I got this big old vase out, and I poured, it was a can about this big, I think, yeah. Excuse me. And it was at my other house, and I was in the backyard. I didn't know it, but my neighbors were out in the backyard, trying to fix their mower or something, and I didn't discover they were out there until after the fact. But so I poured it in. I'm talking about it, and I take a big drink of it. And I spit it out. I just spray it. It was horrible. It was horrible. Axe Head Malt Liquor. Watch that review. You can also see that video clip of me doing that on my funny moments. Just put in funny moments video through my channel and you'll see it. I had a lot of times when I was starting out, I was running into a lot of beers. I wasn't seasoned enough or experienced enough to start looking for out-of-date beers too. And I was running into a crap load of them, and they were just horrible. So I had Jeremy, my son, help me. We made a we edited a video of a bunch of clips of those mishaps. Yeah, I still have still have 3 beat boxes to do. I still got a couple more little shooter bottles I can do. I have a Moscow Mule canned cocktail to do. Jeremy and I are gonna try to do over the weekend, have some, I think it's like Alta Greek beer, Alto. Gonna review that, and then plus I got some Ouzo Greek liqueur, and well, both of those Greek beverages are going to be for Chris, Jeremy's work buddy. So we're going to do those 2 videos over the weekend sometime. So I got a few things to do. If I run out of stuff, then midweek I can run by a liquor store and find something, you know, probably. But yesterday my wife and I mowed, and I weed eated the yard stuff. That about warmed me out. The humidity was high. It was pretty hot out. After I was done, I weighed myself when I was going to take my shower. I was at 194.6 or something like that. Excuse me. I'm usually like 197. Somewhere around there. I fluctuate from 196, 197. But I think I sweated out all my water, so that's why I was weighing at 194.6. Okay, well, Lindsay, I apologize that I wasn't able to find a 40-ounce Hurricane. Hopefully you watch this video. I mean, you're probably going to be looking for a video title saying Hurricane 40 ounce or something like that. So, but if the title is Hurricane 50 ounce, maybe you'll really watch it then, right? .2%. Is that right? 8.1 plus 8.1. 16.2. That's a lot of beer right there. I wouldn't be able to function if I drank all that. I want to be able to play some games tonight with my wife and son, some Mario, and so I won't be able to drink all this, just to be honest, but I wanted to kind of represent your request the best I could. This was the best I could do to kind of show that this is, I mean, if I can do something similar to what someone requests, I will do it. And this is about as close as I could get to it. There's so many suggestions that I can't do because I can't find. That's the main reason, because I can't find the stuff. It's still pretty cold. I wish they weren't 8.1. I wish they were like 6.1. That would make for me just a little bit more smoother of a beer. But this big ABV, it kind of makes them just a little bit too. There's just a slight astringency with that level. It makes it just a little bit too much. It takes away the smooth ability for me when they're that high. And the high gravity type stuff, they're just a little bit too much for me sometimes. So when it comes to ABVs on malt liquors, I'd rather them be a little bit more lower. Excuse me. I can't remember how much my St. Ides was, my favorite malt liquor that I can't find anymore. I don't even know if they still make it. I think it was like maybe 6%. That's St. Ides. But it was one of the most smoothest malt liquors and flavorful malt liquors I've ever had. So I'm tired. Are you guys sitting across from me, watching this, drinking something? Hey everybody. Cheers. Salute. This is like $6 worth of beer right here. This is a 6-pack of something, pretty much. Cheaper stuff. But it was the only way I could think of to do to, like I said, try to do this review for Lindsay. I hear this morning dove up there. Oh, I got a little story for you. We'll make this like a little chat session. You're saying it's already become that. My son was telling me that 2 guys he works with were at another store in the parking lot, and they see this bird hopping around and coming up to them. This bird they could see was a predatory bird, like a hawk or a falcon. They thought maybe it's a falcon. Weren't sure, but it was a baby, and it looked. And the scissor-tail flycatchers were picking on it, and so they was like waiting to see if the mother would come and and help it, protect it or something. No mother come. So this bird jumps up to him and looks at him and says, "Are you my mother?" And the guy said, "No, we're not." And it left and it went over to there was some construction going on there on the parking lot. There was this crane, and it jumped up to the crane, and it looked up at the crane and says, "Are you my mother?" No. So, no. All seriousness, it jumped up to them, and as if it was wanting help. And them boys was like, "What do we do?" The mother didn't come, like I said, so there was a pet store or something, pet hospital. They picked him up and they put him, they held on to him and took him to that pet hospital. Took him in there, to get him some help. These people wouldn't take him. They said, "We don't take wild animals. We only take people's pets. We only help them." That really surprised me and really disappointed me to hear that. They did direct him to another place that's like the title was Prairie something. They help wild animals, I guess. It was like 101st and Memorial or something. It was way the heck up there. But them boys made the effort to go up there to help this little bird. And they took him in, and I guess they got the boy's information. And when they assessed the little bird, they texted them and told them that he's doing good. They probably made sure he had, food or water or something. Said he's missing some feathers. It's obvious he's been picked on. He should make a full recovery. And what the boys thought was a falcon, or they didn't. That's what they thought, because it didn't look like a hawk. In other words, what it was actually was a kestrel, which is similar to, in between a falcon and a hawk, I believe. They're smaller predatory birds. They're really cool. You see them a lot of times out on like fence lines or something, out in the middle of nowhere. When you're traveling, you'll see one sitting on a fence or something. So yeah, this was a baby kestrel. So how it got away from its mother, I have no idea. I told Jeremy, I was like, I wonder if something picked him out of his nest and was holding on to him, and maybe that baby went bit his claw, and he dropped him or something, and he kind of fluttered down. Could happen. Flutter down in a dadgum parking lot. A lot of these areas that are open range, like fields and stuff like that, you'll find the killdeer birds, and you'll find the scissor-tailed flycatchers. Those are the most popular in those areas, and they're very protective, like a lot of mother birds would be. But these can be kind of, well, at least the scissor-tails can be, I guess, kind of aggressive. The killdeer, they're the ones that go, and they'll walk away from the nest, and they'll act like they're hurt. You ever seen them do this? They act like their wings broken to lure a predator away from the nest to protect it, and that way the predator is coming after them, not the babies. So they're fast. They can fly away before a predator gets to them, but just keeps fooling the predator. But I used to, when I worked in Broken Arrow back in the 80s, something like that, there was a mall there called Outlet Malls of America, It's a pretty good sized mall. It's not there anymore. It's a huge church now. But there was a field. There was 2 sections of big field out front. And I used to ride the the rider lawnmower out there and mow all that. And rabbits would have babies out there in holes, you know, and but you could see the babies, and the crows would go out there and they would peck them. They'd peck the babies, and they'd pick them up, and they'd carry them real high, and they would drop them to kill them, and then they would eat on them. I used to hate to see that. It made me hate crows so much, to see them destroying and murdering their little babies. It just drove me nuts to see it. But I guess that's my neighbor years ago said that's the circle of life, which I understand, the circle of life. I just don't want to witness it. I don't want to see it happen. It's just, I grew up kind of a animal type person, just really sensitive to animal life, and couldn't handle seeing them suffer and stuff. Okay, but yeah, Kestrel's gonna be okay. Hopefully they get him strong, make sure he can fly, take him out to a field somewhere and just let him go. Jeremy showed me a picture of it. If I remember it, I'll try to show you guys when we do the two Greek, he's got the picture on his phone. He can show you guys through his phone, the baby, how the colors it has on it. Real pretty bird. But yeah, I'll end it here. Jeremy just got home. He usually tells his mom and I about his day. So I'm gonna go in and start my night. I hope you all have a nice long weekend, and everybody be safe out there. And don't hold firecrackers when you light them. Don't do that. I thought I was going to be fast enough. I was going to try it. And it burned through that wick so fast, I didn't even have time to throw it. Pow! Yow! Hurt. It did hurt. So now I don't do that anymore. So I just light them, walk away. Those are firecrackers. Fireworks are a little bit different. Not in the way you don't want to hold them, you know, unless they're sparklers or something. But yeah, a couple of years, I think, in a row, we've had people over here, a family and stuff, and I have videoed a lot of the fireworks that we were shooting off, and I would talk about them. We're not having a get-together over here this year. We just have too much going on. Construction, things are just a mess. Our house is not back together yet, again, because after we had to tear up on our floor in our kitchen because our floor was falling in. Had to rebuild the floor, put the cabinets back. It was just a big mess. So we're still recovering from that. So it was just too close to plan this time. So you guys won't be seeing fireworks displays and stuff. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this video and sitting across from me and drinking something with me and listening to me chat away. You can probably tell a little bit of a buzzage in my voice. This stuff is pretty strong, man. It doesn't take much when you're sitting down your blood's not pumping. You're just kind of sitting there and drinking an alcoholic beverage, high ABV. And it just grabs hold of you and takes control. I remember years ago, back in 1996, 95 or 96, I was working at Walmart. Excuse me. My little brother, who's now deceased, me and him, my wife, my brother Wayne, his wife, sister-in-law, excuse me. Well, me and my wife went to South Carolina to hang out with that's where my brother and my sister-in-law, Angel, worked or lived in South Carolina. And they had a place in, I think it was Gaston, Batesville, no, it was Batesville, Louisville. Crap, now I can't remember. That little place there, and they had like a pool table there, and I went there on my vacation when I was working at Walmart, and we just hung out, and we went to Charleston, South Carolina, and just to hang out. And we went to a bar called, I've told this story before, we went to a bar / restaurant called Tommy Condon's, a little kind of Irish kind of place. My little brother went with us. I forgot to mention that. My late little brother went with us, and he was underage, but he used a friend of his ID, and it passed. And we was sitting at the bar drinking and stuff, and I was drinking Black and Tans, Guinness and a lager mixture, you know, and sitting up there, and I already drank like two of them. And I went to get up to go to the bathroom after sitting there that long for a while. Whew, man, it was rough trying to get to the bathroom, because the alcohol just kind of took me over. But the Black and Tans, they were making them with Guinness, really, really good. Seems like so long ago when we did that. Wayne at that time didn't show any sign of prostate cancer. He was decently healthy, you know. But anyway, had some good times with him. He was the one everybody said I looked like. So we were the closest in age with all my brothers. Starting to wander now. It's probably time for me to end this video. So I'm going to end it. I thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good 4th. Y'all be careful out there. And look for videos over this weekend. Hopefully Jeremy and I get the opportunity to do what we plan to do. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.